Here. Mr. Purdy.
Here.
On January 4th, 2012, notice of the meeting was mailed to the Mainland Journal, the press, and the Current, and duly posted on council chambers.
For tonight's moment of silence, I'd just like to put our hearts and prayers out to the Bastard family. Councilman Bastard lost his father, and I just want to give this night to him. Please give us a moment of silence. Thank you. Councilwoman Oldham, go to the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chief Chuck, would you like to come up? No? Chief Grant. This is a great honor tonight to be standing forward and announcing that we've met our goal for OPDs for the police department. We've had 10 of them in our police cars that have come time for their retirement. 10 years is the lifespan of these particular units. And we get together for a pledge out of our town, our municipality, neighboring community to see if we can get support for donations for these particular units so we can save the Galloway Township. So at this time, I'd like to bring up Elena here. At this time, Atlantic here, I would like to turn it over to them for their presentation. They've been a great supporter of the neighboring community. They've been a partner in the township for years. Some of you have visited the location, some of you have not. Some more than others, myself, thank you very much. But at this time, it's been a great pleasure for me to introduce them, and I'd like you to tell the people of Galloway County what you're doing.
Hello everyone, my name is Wendy Penny. I'm the ADC of Cardiovascular Services at Atlantic Care. I'd like to also introduce
members of the bingo committee, and they are a big part of Galloway Township. They're part of the Smithville section of Galloway Township, and they give back to the community in so many ways that do not ever get publicized, and it definitely goes unheard. So, we called out for the cry of help, and these guys and your communities have come forward to Galloway Township to help the community out. And again, I want to thank you. Jerry's a big giver to Galloway Township. He's actually sitting on a planning board also, or he's zoning board, I'm sorry. And the spirit that Smithville has, when we go through there with the 4th of July parade, they're the biggest player of the parade. And, no matter what it is in the community, they always give back. So again, I'd like to thank your community for what you do for give back to Galloway Township.
Yeah. For those of you in the audience, portions of Smithville, 1,250 homes, a little over close to 2,500 people, all 55 and up, all people that are greatly appreciative of our emergency service, fire, first aid, and certainly our police department. When the call went out, that there was some help needed with some money to buy some of these wonderful pieces of equipment. Our bingo has been named the club within our organization. 12 Fits to raise money for their bingo game to make a presentation tonight. I'd like to have Alan Silverwall make the presentation.
On behalf of trustees and Smithville, the Bingo Financial Club, for the Galloway Council Meeting, $4,500.
And at times like this, if you want to stay up, and I know the chief wants to say a few words too, at times like this, when budgets are hard, times are hard, people are at times of not working, and the community comes together. This is what makes a small town community so strong. Again, said it a lot of times, I'm proud to be in Galloway Township, I'm proud to be born in Galloway Township, and stuff, and for my kids to be in partnership with people like this in the community that are just givers and givers and givers. And I can't say enough from the bottom of my heart from all the people out there, from the $5, $10 donations, all the way up. This is more than we could ever accomplish in such a short period of time. We never thought that it was going to be like this. And again, I thank the community. And Chief Chuck, I want you to be Chief Chuck, and you're sitting there and looking at me. Call away, sir.
Well, we were here just a little over a month ago, and in a month's time period, we've been able to reach our goal and plus one. So we wanted 10 EVs, we got 11, and it's just a tribute to the community, people like Smithville and living here. So I want to say thank you to the community. It's really awesome, and we will definitely continue this to
I'm just going to echo what Chief Buell said. Basically, thank you to the community for their assistance. Anytime we've ever asked for help, we've been there, whether it's donations or showing up to help out. And really appreciate it. Lanicare, Four Seasons, Mr. Capola, the Gadigans, the ambulance squad. Everybody put it in. I'd also like to put out a special thanks to Mike Brandenberger, OEM, Chief Buell, and Sergeant Picard from my police department. They helped organize the event and get this going. And it's just great to save our budget, and we all know how important that is. And it's very important.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor, if you can possibly go back up to number 5.
I'm sorry, approval of the minutes?
Don't be sorry, that was a great presentation.
The doctor had a phone call, and when it calls, you can't make them wait. It's on the other side of that phone call. But we're going to go back up to 5 with approval of the minutes.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call?
Okay, Mr. Cola,
Yes.
Mr. Gorman,
Abstain?
Mr. Terrell,
Yes.
Ms. Almond,
Yes.
and Mr. Purdy.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
We're gonna go down to our council committee reports. Does anybody have any committees they'd like to report on this evening?
Just briefly, we met as the subcommittee for the Council on Affordable Housing just this afternoon. Tiffany Cuviello has put together a great plan to spend the balance of the development funds that we have and that we need to spend by this summer. And I'm not going to go on long about it because I would probably get some of the details wrong. But Tiffany's trying to arrange for them to come in and make a presentation to us at the next council meeting on July 10th. And in a nutshell, the plan is to take the properties that we currently own and some of the funds to purchase additional properties out of these development fees and have a company come in and manage that for us. So subcontracting, and they're going to come and brief us on what that plan would be at the next council meeting. So I'll kind of leave it at that for now.
Okay, great.
That's a great plan, Brian, because I know we need to get those units. We have, I think, 3 or 4 units there vacant right now. That's made several appeals to the public to get them filled up, and to no avail. It's hard to believe that no one that can take advantage of affordable housing. But
yeah, and I don't think we should really burden the municipal government here with trying to be a realtor and a landlord. And
Right.
I think there's a much better plan, subcontract it out, get somebody professional in there that can do it and do the good that it was intended to do with that money. And we certainly don't want that money just going up to Trenton and not doing any good in the township. So, and that's the alternative, unfortunately. So we're going to avoid that.
Okay, that's good. Anybody else have any input committees?
the Veterans Advisory Board reached out to me and asked me to make an announcement for any veterans that want to participate in the 4th of July parade. I guess the best way is just to reach out to me via email through the township website, and we'll make sure we get a spot for you in the parade.
Okay. Hearing none else, okay? Do you have public comment on that, please, sir?
The ordinance for 1854-12 is at the present time just for introduction and first reading. The public hearing would actually be scheduled for the next meeting for July 10th.
Okay.
Unless you would, I don't know.
I want to, I'm going to take 10 over to, we're going to go to township manager. Do you want to,
Yeah, just real quick, I want to give you some updates. Originally, I sent one out with packets. I've updated it since then. I put it in front of you. Just a couple of minor changes on this and for discussion purposes. First of all, just on page 2, we changed, you see the underline there, we just put into township, initially we had taken this from a borough, and the borough, we are striking the borough out of it. And the second thing on the last page is the penalties. The initial penalties that we had looked at were $1,200, $1,250. What I did was just a suggestion is to reduce that a little bit to $500 for each maximum, not to exceed $500 for an offense on an ordinance. That's for discussion if you want to increase that in the ordinance. However, you council wants to discuss that.
I think that that still might be a little strong. My personal feeling.
Okay.
I think that we all know that have children, that children could do things that are not as appropriate as the parents would like them to be. So I think in these hard times, I think that we should put something together there. But I think that just might be a little.
$250, right?
What was council's feeling?
Well, I think, let me ask you something.
We're taking the equipment.
We're taking the equipment, so the scenario goes if a kid's riding there without a helmet on and gets warned and comes back and still there, the police can take the skateboard or device away from him, and it's $75 to get it back. And
As a processing fee, yes.
Yes.
And the fine also?
Well, that's a discretion of the police department. They want to charge.
So the fine's on.
If you have a repeat offender, then you may have the police department want to charge. Initially we think the $75 processing fee may be enough. not that it's punitive, that's a cost we have to cover to process everything, but, it kind of gives the discretion to the police department. And when you take it to municipal court, fines can be basically up to about $2,000. If you want to make it a lesser fine, just to parents, that's up to you guys.
Arch, the language says a fine not to exceed $500, so they have the discretion of actually.
The judge could, come up with 100, come in with 50, but this just is not to exceed, it's not to exceed number. What's council's feeling on this?
Well, I think we need a strong deterrent. Obviously we want to keep this park open for all the residents to enjoy. There's a lot of kids out there that are utilizing the property and wearing helmets and abiding by the rules. It's a shame that a few people force us to do something like this, really, but for the good of many, I think I'd be more comfortable with $250 also, Mr. Mayor. I think $500 does seem a little excessive still for a helmet violation.
Right, and again, we can always be a bicycle, that's our.
It could be any violation, it could be a kid in there doing profanity or destruction or vandalism or anything of that nature.
Maybe put some other kids on.
Right, you guys feel comfortable with 250?
Well, if there was the vandalism and destruction,
There's other charges.
it would be outside the scope of the
Right,
fine.
so there'll be additional charges, yes.
Right,
So I can go along with the 250.
okay. Not to exceed 250. Okay, and everybody up here okay with the fees?
That's more than the cost of most skateboards, so I think it's pretty much a good deterrent.
Well,
I think it's more for the bicycles.
the thing about any fee is a fee can't be punitive and we can't be making a profit on the fee.
Right.
And analyzing what the cost of a police officer taking the board, processing the paperwork, putting it into evidence as they would with property control. Then when the thing will be released, the materials will be released, the police officer's got to go in and process the release of it, and 75 hours basically just cover all costs.
You're thinking something.
No.
Real deterrent.
We definitely got to implement a fee. There's definitely got to be accountability for what's going on. I think it's the only way it's going to stay safe and keep it open for all the children in the neighborhood. I definitely want to keep the skate park open. I think it's great for the kids to have somewhere to go. What do you think about bringing that fee down to $65? Again, I'm softy when it comes to that, but if the parents made enough, they're not going to get the equipment back anyway.
Well, if that way, maybe we do it, we can push it off and address it, or maybe if we could do it now, maybe go to a tier system. First time $50, second time $60.
Yeah, you can't make the fee punitive.
It would have to be the same fee.
It'd have to be the same fee was to cover our costs. We cover our costs in the township.
Was the fee determined based upon analysis of?
Basically, the salary, benefits of police officer, what it would take them to, get them off the street, process it. And I think we're even a little bit low on the 75, but 65 is a fair number, and it gets the rest of, covers a substantial amount of our costs in it.
65 to agree.
Is that, yes?
That's a yes.
Okay.
No, because it's a shame that we have to do it.
You're absolutely right, because
Because of the few that, or they don't finish our ruling for everybody
the
else.
municipalities that's been reported on, that's removed them.
No, I understand that.
And I think it's great for the kids. So we're all on board here, right? All right, Arch.
New motion.
We'll do that. Everybody else is okay with everything else on the,
So the ordinance changing is, and a fine not to exceed $250.
And the 65, I'm going to change it.
And then make it 65 up there. Okay, all right, very good.
Motion to approve 1854 as amended.
For
Second.
introduction.
For introduction.
introduction on.
Introduction only.
The
Introduction.
public notice that we have a second reading on this, whether it be public comment, and the public could give their input on this particular ordinance. So I have a motion.
I think Mr. Terrell
Yes.
makes the motion. Do I have a second? Okay, so,
Roll call.
okay, Mr. Paul?
Yes.
Mr. Gorman?
Yes.
Mr. Terrell?
Yes.
Ms. Owen? Yes. Mr. Purdy?
Yes.
And we'll put it on for second reading for Tuesday, July 10th at 6:30.
181-12, payment of the bills. I see Mr. Mitchell shaking his head, so I don't think he has any questions, but I'm still going to open it up to the public. Does anybody in the public have any particular line items or paying of the bills they want to discuss at this time? Hearing none, does any council member have any with paying the bills? Do I have a motion?
Motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Pola?
Yes.
Mr. Gorman?
Yes.
Mr. Terrell?
Yes.
Ms. Almond? Yes. Ms. Purdy?
Yes. And for the record, we do have our tax appeals attorney with us tonight, which is Tom Smith. We have some issues that we're going to go over in closed session. I do thank Tom for sitting in place of Mr. Blee. Mr. Blee was recently accepted onto the Supreme Court.
Superior.
We'll put him on the Supreme Court.
Yeah, why not?
Further we can get more.
Honor and privilege for Michael anyway.
Yes, yes.
It's a big deal.
Superior Court, yes. So, Mr. Smith, do we have anything for closed session this evening?
Yes, we do. We have a pending tax appeal for Seaview Hotel versus Galloway Township. We have 3 docket numbers.
Yes.
It's tax years 2008, 2009, 2010. Designation is block 1064.01, lot 6.01. Docket numbers are 006401-2008, 000519, 2009, and 008056-2010. Those are 3 years under appeal that we'll be discussing in closed session.
Do you think there'll be any action taken?
Yes.
Okay. Is that the only issue you foresee?
I'm sorry.
Is that the only issue you foresee tonight?
Yes.
Okay. Arch, do you have anything else that you want to? That's the only thing I have this evening. I couldn't reconcile some other arrangements we talked about. So we're just going to deal with that this evening.
And I assume no action will be taken on this?
Action will be taken, my understanding that you do not do a formal resolution approving certain aspects in closed session. Other towns do it differently. You do it with simply an okay. That's the action that then leads me as your tax counsel with certain things.
Negotiate.
Yes, so there'll be no formal action taken after.
Formal action, but we will. Will we have to come out of closed session to vote
We
on
have to
that?
come out of closed session.
Yeah, I understand that. You don't handle your tax work that way.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
So you're the attorney. While you're sitting in that seat, I'm sitting over here.
I'm Michael Blue. That's what Michael Blue is like.
Okay, sounds good. Do we have a motion to go into closed session?
Motion to close session.
Second.
Roll call.
Okay. Mr. Pola?
Yes.
Mr. Gorman?
Yes.
Mr. Terrell?
Yes.
Ms. Almond? Yes.
Yes.
Resolution 183 is a resolution of the Township of Galloway implementing corrective action plan. Galloway Township has received the 2011 audit, and this is what action the Township Council will expect us to be taking to correct the issues that were in the audit.
Arch, do you want to go into that?
Yeah, just briefly. The one thing that we had a problem with was for a second year, and I understand for a few years, is fixed asset inventories. First of all, what the council has already done, which is going to solve a major part of the problem, is we've increased the threshold for fixed assets up to $5,000. So next year when we start to do our fixed assets, what had happened was with the fixed assets, we were chasing a lot of older portable radios and different things that had just been sold over the years, and really we could never reconcile the books on that because the stuff had just been either lost, sold, or just couldn't be found. Next year we shouldn't have a problem with the fixed assets.
Okay, have any questions or comments? I'm listening for one, I haven't heard.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
Second.
18412 is a resolution of the Township of Galloway, County of Atlantic, and State of New Jersey, acknowledging receipt of the annual audit for 2011. And we will be putting this audit in full on the website.
That's
so
great.
that it can be easily referenced by anyone. That's part of the best practices through the Division of Local Government Services. So we'll be complying with that this week as well, as soon as you take this action.
Great. Thank you. Have any motion?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Cullen?
Yes.
Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
Mr. Terrell?
Votes are correct, yes.
Ms. Ullman?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes. 186-12,
Mr. Mayor, I think I'd like to comment briefly on this and then ask that it be tabled until we can make some amendments to this resolution. You know, this is a resolution we put together, and the intent was to notify the Turnpike Authority that we wish to be notified of all changes and proposed changes to the interchange at exit 41. And you know, I think that's important. 40, yeah. Both at 44, the two interchanges that are going to be in Galloway Township. And I think that's important, especially recently when there was a big to-do about a story in the newspaper about a proposed toll plaza that wasn't really proposed and was a little ambiguous there, and the residents were calling us and we didn't really have the correct answers because we felt like we were a little bit out of the loop on that. I think we really need to know the status of this, but I think it's also important to note that us as a council, when we found out that we were going to be getting both these interchanges, we were ecstatic. I think there's no one single thing that Galloway Township can have happen to it to spur economic development and increase property value than these two interchanges coming into the township. We're ecstatic about it. We just want to make sure that we know what's happening so we can report back to our residents who are calling us for information on this. There's a little bit of a breakdown in communication because it's New Jersey Turnpike Authority Road, especially exit 41, that dumps out onto a county road. So we're getting, I think there's dialogue between the county and the Turnpike Authority, but it's not trickling down yet. I had a brief discussion with members of the Freeholder Board for one of the Bridges and Roads Committee, and I asked them to please get in touch with our manager and let him know of any changes that they're aware of, and so he can disseminate that knowledge back down to us so we're informed for the public. But I want to reword this resolution a little bit so we can send up the Turnpike Authority requesting dissemination of all that information directly to us as a governing body so we can then make it available to our constituents.
Yeah, Deputy Mayor, I agree with you definitely on that. I did, again, have a meeting on April 10th with the Turnpike Authority and Freeholder Marino and also the Senator. And a lot of the stuff we discussed on that particular date, one of the things that was supposed to happen was a public meeting here in Galloway Township. And as of this date, we have not been contacted by the Turnpike Authority to have a public meeting in Galloway Township. And I think, you know, some of the things of having a public meeting is to have public input. What's the sense of having a public meeting when your blueprints are done and you're sending the project out to bid? I think Galloway Township is, they put on the back burner with this. That's one of the reasons why the senator had put this meeting together, Senator Connors. I think there's been a lot of confusion in the public of what is actually happening at that interchange. It is definitely, for the record, definitely going to be a full interchange. I've repeated it multiple times up here before, but it just seems like it gets spun around that we're losing access to the Garden State Parkway and to Leeds Road, which is false. So I think this resolution that was that we were going to put on was a little harsh. I think the wording wasn't exactly the terminology that this council or this township wants to send out as part of our message. I think it's off base a little bit. I think we'll revisit it at the next council meeting, and we will also have the township manager get in touch with the Turnpike Authority and Senator Connors' office, and you know, explain to them about again, we've never been contacted. You know, the public hearing is to have public input, and that's what the residents of Galloway Township are looking forward to. So at that time, we are going to take it.
I agree with you, Mayor, but you know, and the thing is, I think if they listen to the public and we had meetings ahead of time, we could be doing something on Route 30.
Council,
I know they're not going to
you and me were
They
sitting
say
in
they're
the
not going to
same.
spend the money.
We were sitting in the
I
same
agree with
room,
you.
what, over a year year ago, right?
Wait, but how much money do they already have invested in these two? So they're not gonna change their mind.
I think that, I think
You know, as
that,
Tony says about ratables, if we're gonna do Route 30, if the parkway's not done, we're blowing smoke.
yeah, I believe,
It's that easy.
I believe with you, we did have that meeting with them, yourself and myself.
I agree.
It was supposed to have input with the township back at that particular
Yep.
point. It never happened.
And that was over a year ago?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we did have, again, a meeting, scheduled, and another meeting never happened, so.
No, I
let's-
agree with
let's- Let's table this, Arch, if you could, get on this for us again, and we'll come back to the next meeting with some different, more polite wording on this, particular resolution.
Do we have a motion, please?
Yes, can I have a motion to table?
Motion to table.
Second.
We'll do a roll call?
Mr. Capola?
Yes.
Ms. Gorman?
Yes.
Mr. Terrell?
Yes.
Ms. Almond? Yes. Ms. Purdy?
Yes.
Okay, we have a slight, 4 of the resolutions that made the consent agenda need to actually go to our regular resolutions, number 12, for formal action.
I'm gonna pull these out.
They're 187, 191, 192, and 193. So if we take 181 as a resolution by the Township of Galloway authorizing the mayor to execute and sign litigation settlement agreement with Robert DePaglia.
Questions or comments?
Move it.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Cola?
Yes.
Mr. Gorman?
Yes.
Mr. Terrell?
Yes.
Ms. Almond?
Yes.
Mr. Purdy?
Yes.
Okay, the next one is 191.
Renewing the alcohol beverage license for 2012-2013 Romanelli's Garden Cafe, LLC. Questions or comments? Mr. Capola, for the record, is going to abstain from this.
Move it.
Second.
Roll call.
Okay, Mr. Gorman?
Yes.
Mr. Terrell?
Yes.
Ms. Almond?
Yes.
Mr. Purdy?
Yes.
And Mr. Colo's abstention is also recorded.
You.
Okay, 192, is also a liquor license. This is a resolution renewing an alcohol beverage license for Galloway County, and this is JD's Pub and Grill. And the reason why was, it was mentioned that, at the last meeting, about the number of calls and police officers getting injured. And so it was mentioned that you might want to discuss any potential conditions on renewing their license for the next year.
I think all of the stuff was taken care of. Arch?
Yeah, we've actually met with their attorneys, and the police chief has been directly involved in many of these discussions. I have to say that the establishment has been very, very cooperative, and in the process, they are eliminating the college night, which actually kind of resolves the issues of the license, and I have to say that they've been very, very helpful in this situation. Chief, you have anything you want to add there?
Just for the record, Katie's always been supportive of the community, always going out of the way to comply and we're going to get this good deed with no, and no doubt. Whatever that is.
Thank you, Chief. I'd like to add that also. It's a great asset to the community, especially in the Smithville section. My family does go in there for dinner, and they had a great beef burger and fries. It's a great establishment, and I'm proud to say that they're a business in our community. So, do I have a motion?
Move it.
Second.
And Councilman, or Deputy Mayor is going to abstain.
Mr. Gorman?
Yes.
Mr. Terrell?
I'm gonna abstain from this piece.
Ms. Almond?
Yes.
And Ms. Purdy?
Yes.
TC, if you could hold on
Yeah,
one second.
take your lead.
I would just like to ask council whether or not they feel I still need to abstain.
He's in agreement.
You don't have to abstain. You don't have a financial interest in it.
That's correct.
There's no benefit to you.
That's correct.
Just because you may eat someplace, drink
But if there's, given what's transpired, I think it would be fair to rescind that abstention and vote yes on the license. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so it'll be Mr. Gorman, yes, Mr. Brown, yes, Ms. Holman, yes, Mr. Purdy, yes, and Mr. Colo.
That's correct.
And then,
193.
193, a resolution by the Township of Galloway authorizing the mayor to execute and sign police agency information agreement with LexisNexis Claims Solutions Incorporated.
Questions or comments? Have a motion?
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Colo?
Yes.
Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
Mr. Terrell?
Yes.
Ms. Ullman?
Yes.
Mr. Purdy?
Yes. Okay, we'll go to our consent agenda.
Consent agenda includes items of business which are not controversial and do not require individual discussion. A motion approving the consent agenda is moved, seconded, and voted upon as one item by the Township Council. If any discussion is requested on a consent agenda item, it is removed from the consent agenda to the regular agenda.
Is everybody okay with taking them all together as consent agenda, or do they pull anything out of it?
So that would be 185, 188, 189, 190, and 194.
I'm okay with it.
Moving.
Second.
Roll call.
Okay, Mr. Colo?
Yes.
Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
Mr. Terrell?
Yes.
Ms. Ullman?
Yes.
Mr. Purdy?
Yes.
And then we also, under that, have the public hearing and discussion for application for special permit for Social Care for Family Services Association and for the Galloway Township Elks Lodge 2845.
Do we have any questions from the public?
Move it.
Hearing none. Questions, comments from council? Got a motion?
Mr. Coleman?
Second.
Coleman?
Roll call.
Okay, Mr. Cola?
Need to abstain from that. Both.
Okay. Ms. Foreman?
Yes.
Mr. Terrell?
Yes.
Ms. Ullman?
Yes.
And Ms. Purdy?
No problem. I need to abstain from those.
I need to abstain from the Elks? Okay.
Yes on the family services.
Alright, number 14 is a motion to advertise land sale on block 1038, lot 7.01 on Dickinson Avenue.
Real quick, let's go back to 13. Mr. Smith, we do not have the majority of council. So that is going to have to, we're going to have to hold that to the next council meeting. Yes.
There's a time on
You
the
only have to
July 4th.
abstain as a conflict. In fact, generally speaking, you have some type of inherent interest in that.
If I'm a member, it's okay.
Your membership, it does not affect, there's no financial interest in this. I can be a member of a Catholic church and they can have a raffle.
Okay.
I don't believe that.
So make sure
falls
it's on the right way.
I wrote that down here.
Well, I think I'm abstaining through my liquor license. These are alcohol beverage control forms that we're approving, and I think that.
All right, so I'll change my vote to 13 for a yes.
Okay.
You know, just to make sure that carries the vote. Thank you. We're going down to the land sale, 14. You have any questions or comments on that? Art, you want to explain that?
That's basically the one on Harvard.
It's the one that adjacent homeowner, we just buy the property
Right.
next to them.
And they're using it for dumping in.
Undersized
Right.
lot, we had a tax
Right.
assessor look
Yeah.
at it.
And they want to take care of it, they clean and pick it up now and everything like that. In fact, this has kind of been bouncing around since I think January, when they asked, and we finally got it all put together and everything like that. And we do have to legally go out and advertise, because anybody could bid for it and everything like that, because it has to be public and noticed, but basically.
They're adjoining property owners.
Adjoining property owners. And it's been before the planning zoning board and all that sort of stuff, environmental commission and everything, and they've all said yes, that it would be an improvement.
Hearing none, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Yes.
Mr. Gorman?
Yes.
Mr. Terrell?
Yes.
Ms. Ullman?
Yes.
Mr. Brady?
Yes. Manager report. Just a couple quick things. I just want to congratulate Mr. Lee, and I have to say it's been a real pleasure working with him since the short period of time I've been here. He's been a real gentleman and a professional. I want to thank Tom for filling in on such short notice and jumping in here and helping out. The budget reviews today, looking at the expenditures through fiscal year or calendar year 2012. We're actually right on target when the budget looks like it's in real decent shape at this point. So we're real happy with that. The other thing is, we'd like to establish a subcommittee to discuss the solicitor situation and how we're going to move forward with that process or decision how we're going to go with it.
I'll put myself on it, Deputy Mayor, and also Councilman Terrell.
Okay, and I'll get with you guys and we'll have some discussions and schedule a couple different things on how we're going to proceed.
Sounds good. Do you have anything else going on?
No, basically just daily business moving forward with the biggest concern was the budget, and we've been focusing on that for the last week or so, make sure we're right in line. And we are going to do some mock budget screenings in July, looking at it next year and seeing where we come in with some of our estimates. Obviously, we can look at the expenditure side. We don't know where the revenue side will be, but we will be right on with the appropriation side.
Arch, listen, I really recommend you on taking an early stance on this budget. I've been on the budget committee for multiple years before I was on council, and I've said it over and over. You know, let's get these numbers early. Let's work on this. So we've got to start shaving a little bit and maybe not buying as many, as I say, pencils and paper clips aren't saving this budget. But sometimes people have stuff allocated to their annual budget.
Just because they have it doesn't mean it's
And I think that our employees are excellent on this right now, and I think that they've come with the times, like the rest of us have, and our employees are spending every dollar like it's their own dollar. I really want to commend them for that, and I think that in the long run, with some of the cost savings that we're having in here, hopefully that this year we'll get by on a good note. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Councilman Gorman.
I'd just like to thank everybody that helped with donations for the AEDs, and congratulations to Mike Lee. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Anything weird? Councilman Terrell, on my right side.
Certainly congratulations to Michael Blay. It's a great privilege for him to take this position, and New Jersey's going to be better off for it. We'll miss him here, but I'm happy to see him take the next step in his career there. And certainly I'd like to thank everybody that helped out with AEDs, Atlanticare, Four Seasons, Smithville. This is great, and I'm confident that'll save lives down the road as well. My condolences to Tom Basford on his loss. And I'd also like to thank Dennis. This is our first meeting without him, and I wish him well in his endeavors. And I'm confident we'll see his name again in the political circles, but perhaps with an EHT after his name somewhere. So with that, just a happy 4th of July to everyone. Please be safe out there, and yet still enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Yes, I also wanted to just say it was an honor to work with Michael as well. I do wish him luck in his endeavors. Everyone should know that we do have a Facebook page, so please like us on Facebook. We update it. We try to update it regularly for you. Also, be safe on July 4th. Make sure you're there for the parade. And don't forget that this Thursday, the Galloway Township Business Association is putting on the Taste of Galloway. It's from 5 to 8 p.m. in Smithville, and it's only $10 a ticket and then $30 max per family. So it's going to be a really fun night to sample some great foods in our town. 5 to 8 this Thursday, the Taste of Galloway.
And then all the proceeds benefit the...
Oh, and all the proceeds benefit the Hope Chest Food Pantry.
Where do you get tickets at? There or find them right there?
At the event,
okay.
Yes.
It's only $10, or I think it's $30 for as big as your family is.
Yes.
There you go, Don.
I like it. Thank you very much.
Fundraiser, all right?
Better define family.
Deputy Mayor.
I'll be brief. Just a quick congratulations to Mike Brandenberger and Chief Bull over there. What a tremendous job. Just a mere, 30 days ago you were in here, which would seem to be insurmountable task, and a month later we're waving the victory flag. So congratulations. I think we should up the ante a little bit, double it, and why not Arnold? Nice job, fellas, and thank you to the Four Seasons community, everybody else that contributed. It's just a great example of how this community pulls together when there's something that needs to be done, and I'm proud. 4th of July parade, obviously that's going to be the 4th of July. Somebody said, what's the date of the 4th of July parade? Takes the Galloway. Congratulations to Mike Blake. We're going to miss him here, and he's doing on bigger and better things. And I just really want to extend my deepest condolences to Tom and his family. We do this and we get involved in this arena here, and we put ourselves out there and open ourselves up to criticism, and sometimes you really forget, what's important in life, and something like this really kind of grounds you, and it's really about your family, and my deepest condolences, my thoughts and prayers go out to Tom and his family right now, so. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Bashford's been sitting up on this dais for 10 plus years, giving his time. Recently, he's been working out of town to get a job to support his family, and the amount of time that he travels, he goes back and forth to work and what have you, and the time that he's lost with his father can never be replaced. So, again, my heart goes out to Tom and his family. Bastards has been a part of the community, the neighboring community, for a long time. His father was a carpenter and had his hands on a lot of projects in the local area. And I just want to say, we up here as a council, as the deputy mayor said, as a family, and we support his family like it's our own. So we'll give a thanks to his family for letting Tom sit up here with us. Councilman Kleiner. I ran with Councilman Kleiner, spent a lot of time with Councilman Kleiner. He spent a lot of time in the community, raising his family, and for him to go to another community, I wish him luck out in Carver Township. Very similar community as Galloway Township, neighboring communities, and I wish him all the best of luck. We do have a vacancy that came about yesterday in our zoning board. One of the members is moving to a neighboring community, Fort Public, and we do have an opening spot, and it would be okay of council. I'd like to appoint Chris Coleman. He's a young kid, spends a lot of time in the community for the position of the zoning board. I think he definitely would put the time in his heart to get back to the community for anybody to come in front of that board. So I would like to put that out on here and have a motion in a second, if I could, and do it the right way and get a roll call on it.
Glad to make that motion.
Second that.
Have a roll call on that?
Mr. Gorman?
Yes.
Mr. Terrell?
Yes.
Mr. Cola?
Yes.
Ms. Ullman?
Yes.
And Ms. Burton?
Yep. Yes. Again, I'd like to thank the Galloway Township EMS, Chief Chop, Michael Brandenberger, Sergeant Picardi, the hearts of the community. All three of you guys are big givers to our community. Mr. Picardi gives back in so many ways, from being a fireman, his history, the EMS, and I think Chief, wasn't he the youngest police officer that Galloway Township has had brought into the system? At one point, yes. Yeah. And the guy's a giver. He's always been a giver, and he coaches the youth. And Michael Brandenberger, again, I can't say enough to you, Mike. I go back to the 80s when you were in the ambulance squad and you're still in the ambulance. So I want to thank that group of guys to put together what they did for this community, and hopefully that police car never has to pull up in any of our yards to connect that donated device to us. But it's there, and I'm glad to have them in our community and have people like yourselves in the community helping out. So thank you very much. Lady Garrett, Galloway EMS, the Smithville 2, the Four Seasons, and you also have our deputy mayor, the Gettigan family. We thank everybody and all the donations that have been given to us. We have a Mr. Blee. Before I go to this, Mr. Blee, I want to thank Mr. Blee for the time that he's given Galloway Township, the fairness that he's ruled over with us. We've not always agreed with Mr. Blee, like we would with any solicitor or anybody sitting up on his council. He's always kept us grounded. He's a great guy. He brings a lot to the table. It's going to be hard to replace Mr. Blee. Proud to have him sitting on our judge board through the community of Land County. I think it was a good choice for the governor. I want to thank the governor for giving him this opportunity. Not happy that we have to replace him, but he's been a good asset to the community. His whole family, the Blees, are givers, and I want to thank him for his time that he's given to Galloway Township. On another note, we have, I'm going to bring this up for discussion real quick, even though this is council comments. We've talked about this for years. Galloway Township has got a distribution liquor license that has come up multiple times that we have discussed. It recently came up as this is close as last week, right, Arch?
Yes.
I'd like to get some talk and dialogue. It doesn't have to happen this meeting. I just want everybody to think about, it's a revenue source, but it's a short, one-time revenue source. It goes by the population of the community, which I believe that there's one, possibly going on two, that might be available to this community. And the way that I am looking at it is, there are certain areas of the town that this could benefit. I don't want to put any businesses out in Galloway Township that might be doing the same type of distribution. But there's some areas in the township that are shovel-ready developments, or could be shovel-ready developments, or a vacant building that might take use of this particular license. If you sell this license, obviously it's a revenue drop right now to what you could get in the up and coming when times were good. But I think this spurs economic development. I think that anybody that turned around and might be to buy this license, I would be more happy for the minimum on it. But I think that us selling this license could bring some development to Galloway Township, or take over an existing building that might be vacant in the township. So it's not all about the sale, it's all about getting rateables ready for our rooftops and what have you in the town. So I just want you to think about it. If you want to discuss it tonight, you can. If not, just think about it. We can bring it up at the next council meeting. But I believe that this is a small key to, could be a fortune for bringing economic development to start in Galloway in a certain area that might not have it.
Could we, I don't believe we could limit to where it would be. But
No. It could go right next door to the existing place.
Yeah.
But I think that somebody that might put that investment out there, I don't think that that's what they would do. But it's a free market out there.
Right.
I just think that we're sitting on something in our hands right now that could not only just bring a little bit of revenue to the township by selling the license, but also to the fact being of getting maybe another rateable in the community. Does anybody have any input that they want to talk about on this? You want to hold off and wait till one meeting and have more further discussion on it? Okay, good.
See what numbers we think would be reasonable.
Yeah, Arch, could you maybe...
I'm gonna make some inquiries about where the market's at with some of the surrounding towns.
Right, and see if we do have, I know we have one, do we have possibly two with the census? I don't know. But I think that, to me, perfect, somebody wants to build liquor stores.
Okay.
But,
We have any inquiries on that?
I know.
no, in the past we've had, it's probably been a good year, maybe a year and a half since anybody has. But I think that it doesn't hurt to go out for one and put a minimum bid on it, which I believe Mr. Smith out there. You do have at the Assumption property, you got across the street, you got all the way up and down the White Horse Pike. It could be something that could spark an interest, so I just want to put it all out there and nobody say that we have it and we're not using it.
Okay.
Okay? 4th of July parade, bring your family out. Kids love it. They sit there to get their candy and what have you. It's one of the largest parades in the state of New Jersey. It's a wonderful run. It's a good time for a family to come out and see the different floats and fire trucks, emergency vehicles, apparatuses, and the community. So invite everybody out there. That's all I have this evening. Here's a short one. Then we go to public comment. Anybody that has anything to say, please come up to the mic. Give your name and your address. And